You may have heard that as of August 17th, the practice of real estate will change.
We wanted you to understand the true changes as the media has been misleading and confusing.
Buyers will now have to sign an agreement with an agent prior to touring properties.
Buyers will also have to have an upfront plan for how they will be able to pay for their buyer agent.
How is this different from what we've been doing?
Previously, a buyer could request to see a home on a whim without hiring an agent. Buyers, for the most part, have not been responsible for having to plan for a buyer agent to represent them. This has often been a cost covered by a seller.
Sellers have previously disclosed on major websites what the commission would be offered to a buyer's agent.
The multiple listing service, which you may know as the MLS, is the primary platform where agents promote properties for sale, as well as communicate detailed information. This is also the system that feeds websites like Zillow and Realtor.com. The MLS has also previously listed commission offerings for buyer agents.
Going forward, another change is that the MLS will no longer advertise buyer agent commission fees that a seller is willing to pay.
Does this mean sellers will no longer have to pay buyer agent commissions?
No, sellers can still offer to assist buyers with their transaction cost, which could include commission.
Buyer agents will now have to contact a listing agent or seller directly to ask if they are intending to offer a buyer agent commission, or if they are willing to consider assisting a buyer with transaction costs. This will tell a buyer if they have the money required to be able to consider purchasing that property.
Is it true that a seller doesn't have to pay a buyer's agent commission?
Yes, and that has actually always been the case. The biggest change now is not whether or not a seller can pay a buyer agent commission. The biggest change will be in having it stated more clearly in all agreements.
From a seller's listing agreement to the buyer's agreement to the real estate contract, there will be clarity and transparency in all transaction costs, which may include but is not limited to any agent commission fees.
The primary concern at this time is that many buyers will be unprepared for this change, so if a seller is unwilling to pay part or all of the buyer's agent commission, buyers may determine they are unable to purchase those properties due to the inability to afford buyer agent fees.
We would encourage sellers to take a new approach to selling their home and form a data-driven decision as to whether or not they would pay a buyer agent commission, in whole or in part.
One way to do this would be during the listing agent interview process.
Ask for the current market data that reveals whether or not your likely buyer market is showing a trend for needing financial assistance to be able to pay for an agent, so they may be able to buy your home.
Real estate cycles change, as well as buyers' strengths and expectations. Understanding the data will enable a seller to determine what type of offering might be wise, helping them sell for the highest price, as well as how they would like this communicated to a buyer's agent and to the public.
There are many nuances, strategies, and ways of helping buyers and sellers win with these changes.
The mortgage industry and many others recognize there could be problems with these changes, and as a result, our team is committed to keeping you informed as this evolves and as we anticipate changes again.
The clever people are informed and available to talk with you through these changes to help you create a future timeline that gives you confidence and success.